You are walking down a quiet street on a Tuesday evening. Everything is normal. Everything is calm. And then, in 1 second, everything changes. Maybe you see a car accident. Maybe someone collapses on the sidewalk. Maybe you smell smoke coming from a building. Maybe your child falls and cannot stand up. Your heart starts racing. Your hands are shaking. And you know you need to do something. You need to call for help. But can you do it in English? Welcome back to Easy English Daily. My name is Emily, and this is episode number 12. Today we are tackling one of the most important topics in this entire series. We are talking about emergencies. Specifically, we are learning how to call for help, how to describe what is happening, and how to communicate clearly when every second counts. This is not a topic anyone wants to think about. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "I hope I have an emergency today." But emergencies happen. They happen to everyone, everywhere, at any time. And when they do happen, the ability to communicate clearly in English could save someone's life. It could save your life. Maybe you are traveling abroad and something goes wrong. Maybe you are living in an English-speaking country and you witness an accident. Maybe you are at work and a colleague suddenly feels very ill. Maybe there is a fire in your building and you need to tell the firefighters where people are trapped. In all of these situations, you need English. Real, practical, clear English. And that is exactly what we are going to learn today. I am going to teach you the vocabulary, the phrases, and the structures you need to handle emergency situations with confidence. We will practice calling emergency services. We will learn how to describe injuries, accidents, and dangerous situations. We will talk about what to say at the hospital, how to ask for help on the street, and how to stay calm when everything around you feels chaotic. This is going to be a long and detailed episode because this topic deserves it. Your safety and the safety of the people around you is worth every minute. So settle in, listen carefully, and let us begin. Part 1. Emergency numbers around the world. Before we practice what to say, let us start with something basic but absolutely essential: emergency phone numbers. In the United States and Canada, the emergency number is 911. You call 911 for police, fire, or medical emergencies. One number for everything. In the United Kingdom, the emergency number is 999. You can also use 112 in the UK, which works across all of Europe. In the European Union, the universal emergency number is 112. This number works in every EU country, including Poland, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and all the others. If you are ever in Europe and you do not know the local emergency number, just dial 112. In Australia, the emergency number is 000. In New Zealand, it is 111. Here is an important thing to know. In most countries, you can call the emergency number even if your phone has no credit, no SIM card, and even if the phone is locked. Emergency calls are always free and always go through. Let me teach you a useful phrase right away. I need to call emergency services. Emergency services is the general term for the police, the fire department, and the ambulance service. Repeat after me. I need to call emergency services. And here is another one. What is the emergency number here? If you are in a foreign country and you do not know the number, ask someone. What is the emergency number here? This is a simple question that could make a huge difference. Part 2. What happens when you call many people have never called an emergency number before? And that is a good thing. It means they have been lucky. But it also means that when the moment comes, they do not know what to expect. So let me walk you through what happens when you call. When you dial the emergency number, a dispatcher answers the phone. A dispatcher is the person who receives emergency calls and sends help to you. They are trained professionals. They are calm. They know exactly what questions to ask, and they will guide you through the entire process. The dispatcher will usually start by asking, "What is your emergency?" or "What service do you need?" In some countries, they ask, "Police, fire, or ambulance?" This is the first thing you need to say. What kind of help do you need? If someone is hurt or sick, you say, "I need an ambulance." If there is a fire, you say, "I need the fire department." Or, "There is a fire." If there is a crime or a dangerous situation, you say, "I need the police." If you are not sure, just describe what is happening. The dispatcher will decide which service to send. After you tell them what you need, the dispatcher will ask you a series of questions. The most important question is, what is your location? They need to know where you are so they can send help to the right place. Here is a critical phrase. I am at, followed by your location. I am at 45 Oak Street. I am at the corner of Main Street and Park Avenue. I am at the shopping center on Bridge Road. I am on the highway near exit 12. If you do not know the exact address, describe where you are. I am near the big supermarket on the south side of town. Or, I am in a park near the fountain. Or, I am on a road between the airport and the city center. Give as much information as you can. The dispatcher will also ask, "What happened?" And this is where you need to describe the situation clearly and quickly. We are going to practice this in the next sections. Repeat after me. I need an ambulance. I am at 45 Oak Street. Someone has been hurt. Good. That is 3 sentences. 3 sentences that could save a life. Let us keep going. Part 3. Describing a medical emergency. Medical emergencies are the most common reason people call for help. Someone is having a heart attack. Someone fainted. Someone is choking. Someone fell and cannot move. Someone is having an allergic reaction. These situations are scary, but if you can describe what is happening clearly, the dispatcher can send the right help and even give you instructions on what to do while you wait. Let us learn the key phrases for different medical situations. Situation 1. Someone has collapsed. Collapsed means they suddenly fell to the ground and they cannot get up. You call and say, "Someone has collapsed on the street. They are not moving. I think they are unconscious." Unconscious means they are not awake. They do not respond when you talk to them or shake them. The dispatcher might ask, "Are they breathing?" This is a very important question. You check by looking at their chest. Is it going up and down? You can also put your ear close to their mouth and listen for breath. If they are breathing, you say, "Yes, they are breathing." If they are not, you say, "No, they are not breathing." If you are not sure, say, "I am not sure. I cannot tell." Situation 2. Someone is having chest pain. Chest pain can be a sign of a heart attack. You say, "A man here is having severe chest pain. He is holding his chest and he looks very pale. He is sweating a lot." Pale means the color has left their face. They look white or gray. Situation 3. Someone is choking. Choking means something is stuck in their throat and they cannot breathe. You say, someone is choking. They cannot breathe. They are holding their throat. The dispatcher might tell you how to perform the Heimlich maneuver, which is a technique to help someone who is choking. Situation 4. Someone has had a bad fall. You say, an elderly woman has fallen down the stairs. She is conscious, but she says she cannot move her leg. I think it might be broken. The word conscious means they are awake and aware. The opposite is unconscious. Situation 5. Someone is bleeding badly. You say, a man has cut himself and he is bleeding heavily. The blood is not stopping. We need an ambulance right away. The phrase bleeding heavily means a lot of blood is coming out. Situation 6. Someone is having an allergic reaction. A severe allergic reaction is called anaphylaxis. The person might have trouble breathing, their face or throat might be swelling, and they might have a rash. You say, I think someone is having a severe allergic reaction. Their face is swelling and they are having trouble breathing. Do they need an EpiPen? Here is a very useful structure for any medical emergency. Someone is and they need help immediately. Someone is unconscious and they need help immediately. Someone is not breathing and they need help immediately. Someone is bleeding heavily and they need help immediately. Repeat after me. Someone has collapsed and they are not breathing. I need an ambulance right away. Part 4. Describing an accident. Accidents happen every day. Car accidents, bicycle accidents, accidents at work, accidents at home. Let us learn how to describe them clearly. For a car accident, the most important information is where it happened, how many cars are involved, and whether anyone is hurt. There has been a car accident on Highway 7 near the gas station. 2 cars are involved. I can see at least one person who is injured. They are still inside the car. Notice the structure. First, what happened? There has been a car accident. Second, where? On Highway 7 near the gas station. Third, details. 2 cars, 1 person injured, still in the car. The dispatcher might ask, is anyone trapped? Trapped means they cannot get out. Maybe the door is stuck. Maybe the car is badly damaged and they cannot move. If someone is trapped, say, yes, 1 person is trapped inside the car. The door will not open. For a bicycle accident, a cyclist has been hit by a car. They are lying on the road. They are conscious, but they seem confused and there is blood on their head. For a workplace accident, someone has fallen from a ladder at a construction site. They are on the ground and they are not moving. We think they hit their head. For an accident at home, my father fell in the bathroom. He slipped on the wet floor. He says his hip hurts very badly and he cannot stand up. Here are some important words for describing accidents. Collision. A collision is when 2 vehicles hit each other. There has been a collision on the highway. Injury. An injury is physical damage to a person's body. There are injuries. Conscious. The person is awake and aware. He is conscious but confused. Unconscious. The person is not awake. She is unconscious, trapped. The person cannot get out or move. Someone is trapped inside the vehicle. Bleeding. Blood is coming from a wound. She is bleeding from her head. Repeat after me. There has been a car accident. 2 people are injured. We need an ambulance. Part 5. Reporting a fire. Fires are terrifying. They spread fast, They produce smoke that is dangerous to breathe, and they can destroy a building in minutes. If you see a fire, calling for help quickly is absolutely essential. When you call about a fire, the dispatcher needs to know where the fire is, how big it is, and whether anyone is inside the building. There is a fire in an apartment building on Maple Street, number 23. I can see flames coming from a window on the second floor. I do not know if anyone is inside. Or, there is a fire in the kitchen of a restaurant on the corner of 5th Avenue and Oak Street. Smoke is coming out of the front door. Everyone has evacuated, but I am not sure if the staff are all out. Evacuated means left the building for safety. We evacuated the building. Everyone evacuated. The dispatcher might ask, "Can you see flames or just smoke?" Flames are the visible fire, the orange and red part. Smoke is the gray or black cloud. Sometimes you only see smoke, which means the fire might be hidden inside a wall or a ceiling. They might also ask, "Is anyone trapped inside?" If you know someone is still in the building, say, "Yes, I think there are people on the 3rd floor. I can hear someone shouting for help." Here are important phrases for fire emergencies. There is a fire at, followed by the location. There is a fire at the office building on Park Road. I can see flames. This means you can see the actual fire. There is a lot of smoke. Smoke is very dangerous. Even if you cannot see flames, smoke can kill. The building has been evacuated. Everyone has left the building. Someone is trapped inside. A person cannot get out of the burning building. The fire is spreading. This means the fire is getting bigger. It is moving to other rooms or floors. And here is something very, very important. If you are inside a building that is on fire, get out first. Do not try to fight the fire yourself. Do not try to save your belongings. Get out, then call for help. Your life is more important than anything you own. Repeat after me. There is a fire in the building. Everyone has evacuated. The fire is spreading to the 2nd floor. Part 6. Calling the police. Sometimes you need to call the police. Maybe you witnessed a crime. Maybe someone broke into your house. Maybe you feel unsafe. Maybe you see something suspicious. When you call the police, describe the situation calmly and clearly. For a break-in, someone has broken into my apartment. I came home and the door was open. Things are missing. I do not think the person is still here, but I am not sure. A break-in means someone entered your home illegally, usually to steal things. For a theft, my bag has been stolen. Someone grabbed it and ran away. I am at the train station on King Street. A theft is when someone takes something that belongs to you. For witnessing a crime, I just saw 2 men break into a car on Elm Street. They smashed the window and took something from inside. They ran toward the park. For feeling unsafe, there is a man following me on the street. I am at the corner of Bridge Road and Hill Street. I feel very unsafe. Can you send someone? The dispatcher will ask you questions to help the police find the right person or understand the situation. Can you describe the person? This means, what do they look like? You might say, he is tall, about 1.80 meters. He is wearing a dark jacket and jeans. He has short brown hair. Which direction did they go? This means, where did they run to? You might say, they went toward the park, or they turned left on Maple Street. Are you in a safe place? The dispatcher wants to make sure you are not in danger. If you are not safe, they will tell you what to do. Here is a very important phrase. I want to report a, followed by the type of incident. I want to report a break-in. I want to report a theft. I want to report a suspicious person. Repeat after me. I want to report a theft. Part 7. Asking for help on the street. Not every emergency requires calling the emergency number. Sometimes you just need help from the people around you. Maybe you are lost. Maybe you feel sick. Maybe you had a minor accident. Maybe you need directions to the nearest hospital or pharmacy. Here are useful phrases for asking strangers for help. Excuse me, can you help me? This is the most basic and most useful phrase. It gets someone's attention and it tells them you need assistance. I need help, please. This is slightly more urgent. You are telling the person that the situation is serious. Is there a hospital nearby? If someone is hurt, you need to know where the nearest hospital is. Is there a pharmacy nearby? A pharmacy is where you buy medicine. If someone needs medication quickly, a pharmacy might be closer than a hospital. Can you call an ambulance, please? If you do not have a phone or your phone is dead, ask someone to call for you. Do you speak English? If you are in a non-English speaking country, this question helps you find someone who can communicate with you. Please, it is an emergency. This word, emergency, is understood in many languages because it sounds similar in many European languages. Use it to convey urgency. And here's a phrase that can get attention in a crowd. Somebody call an ambulance. Or, somebody call 112. If you are dealing with an emergency and you need someone else to make the call while you help the person, shout this loudly and clearly. Repeat after me. Excuse me, can you help me? I need to find the nearest hospital. Part 8. At the hospital or emergency room. If you or someone you know ends up at the hospital, you need to be able to communicate with the medical staff. The emergency room, also called the ER, is the part of the hospital that treats urgent medical problems. When you arrive at the ER, you will go to the reception desk. The receptionist or nurse will ask you questions. What happened? Describe the situation. I fell down the stairs and I think I broke my arm. Or, my friend was in a car accident and she has a cut on her head. Where does it hurt? Point to the area and describe it. It hurts here on my right wrist. Or, the pain is in my chest. When did this happen? About 30 minutes ago. Or, it happened this morning around 9 o'clock. Are you allergic to any medications? This is a very important question. If you are allergic to something, tell them, I am allergic to penicillin. Or, I do not have any allergies. Do you take any medications? If you take regular medicine, tell the doctor. I take medication for high blood pressure. Or, I take insulin for diabetes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the pain? We learned this in episode 8, remember? Give a number. About a 7. Maybe a 5. Here are some useful phrases for the hospital. I think my arm is broken. A broken bone is called a fracture. I think I have a fracture. I need stitches. Stitches are small threads that a doctor uses to close a deep cut. The cut might need stitches. I feel dizzy and nauseous. Dizzy means the room is spinning. Nauseous means you feel like you might throw up. I have been vomiting. Vomiting means throwing up. I have been vomiting for the past 2 hours. Can I have something for the pain? This is how you ask for pain medicine. Can I have something for the pain, please? When can I go home? After treatment, you will want to know this. When can I go home? Do I need to come back for a follow-up? A follow-up is a return visit to check on your recovery. Do I need to come back? Repeat after me. I fell, and I think my wrist is broken. The pain is about an 8 out of 10. Part 9. Common emergency vocabulary. Let me now go through some essential emergency vocabulary that you should know. These are words you might hear from dispatchers, paramedics, police officers, firefighters, and hospital staff. Ambulance. This is the vehicle that takes sick or injured people to the hospital. The ambulance arrived in 5 minutes. Paramedic. A paramedic is a medical professional who arrives in the ambulance and gives emergency treatment. The paramedic checked her breathing and her heart rate. Dispatcher. The person who answers your emergency call and sends help. The dispatcher asked for my location. First aid. First aid is basic medical help that you give to someone before the ambulance arrives. Things like putting pressure on a wound to stop bleeding, or putting someone in the recovery position. Do you know first aid? CPR. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It is a technique where you press on someone's chest and sometimes breathe into their mouth to keep their heart and lungs working. The dispatcher told me how to perform CPR. Stretcher. A stretcher is the bed on wheels that paramedics use to carry a patient. They put him on a stretcher and loaded him into the ambulance. Wound. A wound is an injury where the skin is broken. She had a deep wound on her forearm. Burn. A burn is an injury caused by heat, fire, chemicals, or electricity. He has burns on his hands from the fire. Fracture. A fracture is a broken bone. The X-ray showed a fracture in her ankle. Concussion. A concussion is a brain injury caused by a hit to the head. After he hit his head, the doctor said he had a mild concussion. Shock. In medical terms, shock is when the body is not getting enough blood flow. Signs include pale skin, fast breathing, and confusion. She was in shock after the accident. Stable condition. When doctors say someone is in stable condition, it means their health is not getting worse. He is in stable condition at the hospital. Repeat after me. The paramedics arrived quickly and took him to the hospital on a stretcher. Part 10. Staying calm in an emergency. I want to talk about something that is not about English, but about you. Staying calm. When an emergency happens, your body goes into something called the fight or flight response. Your heart beats faster, your breathing gets shallow, your hands might shake, your mind might go blank. This is your body preparing to protect you. It is completely natural, but in an emergency, panic is your biggest enemy. If you panic, you cannot think clearly. You cannot speak clearly. You cannot help anyone, including yourself. So how do you stay calm? Here are some techniques. First, breathe. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for 3 seconds. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth. Do this 2 or 3 times. It sounds simple, but it really works. Deep breathing tells your brain, I am okay. I can handle this. Second, focus on what you can do, not on what is going wrong. You cannot change what happened. But you can call for help. You can give information. You can comfort the person who is hurt. Focus on the actions you can take. Third, speak slowly. When you are stressed, you tend to speak fast. But fast speech, especially in a second language, can lead to misunderstandings. Slow down. Use short, clear sentences. There's an accident. 2 people are hurt. I am on Main Street. Short sentences. Clear information. Fourth, listen to the dispatcher. The dispatcher is trained to help you. They will ask questions. They will give instructions. Listen carefully and follow what they say. You do not have to figure everything out by yourself. Here is a phrase you can say to yourself in an emergency. Stay calm, call for help, give clear information. This is your emergency plan in 3 steps. Stay calm, call for help, give clear information. And here is something to say if you feel yourself panicking on the phone. I am sorry, I am very scared right now. Please bear with me. Bear with me means please be patient with me. Dispatchers hear this all the time. They understand. They will help you through it. Repeat after me. I am scared, but I am going to stay calm and give clear information. Part 11. Practice scenarios. Now let us practice. I'm going to describe some emergency scenarios and give you example phone calls. Listen carefully to the structure and the language. These are the kinds of conversations you might need to have one day. Scenario 1. You witness a car accident. You dial the emergency number. Dispatcher. Emergency services? What is your emergency? You. There has been a car accident. I am on Oak Street near the library. 2 cars have collided. 1 car is on its side. Dispatcher. Is anyone injured? You. Yes, I think so. The driver of the car that is on its side is not moving. I can see another person in the second car. They are moving, but they look hurt. Dispatcher. Is anyone trapped? You. The person in the first car seems trapped. The car is on its side and the doors are jammed. Dispatcher. Okay, I am sending police, fire, and an ambulance to your location. Stay on the line. Do not try to move the person who is trapped. You. Okay, I will stay here. Please hurry. Did you hear the key elements? Location. What happened? Who is hurt? Whether anyone is trapped. Scenario 2. Someone has a medical emergency at work. You dial the emergency number. Dispatcher. Emergency services. What service do you need? You. I need an ambulance. My colleague has collapsed at work. He was holding his chest and then he fell to the ground. Dispatcher. What is your address? You. I am at Techstar Office Building, 120 King Street, 3rd floor. Dispatcher. Is he conscious? You. No, he is unconscious. He's not responding when I talk to him. Dispatcher. Is he breathing? You. I think so. Yes, I can see his chest moving. Dispatcher. Good. Do not move him. An ambulance is on its way. Stay on the line and I will give you further instructions. You. Thank you. Please hurry. Notice how the caller answers each question directly. Short, clear answers. No unnecessary information. That is exactly what you need in an emergency. Scenario 3. There is a fire in your apartment building. You dialed the emergency number. Dispatcher. Emergency services. You. There is a fire in my apartment building. I can see smoke filling the hallway on the 4th floor. I am on the 3rd floor. Dispatcher. What is the address? You. 15 Riverside Drive, Building C. Dispatcher. Have you evacuated the building? You. I am leaving now. I do not know if everyone is out. I knocked on my neighbor's doors on the way down. Dispatcher. Good. Get out of the building immediately. Do not use the elevator. Use the stairs. Fire services are on their way. You. I am going down the stairs now. Please send help quickly. I think there might be people on the 4th floor. The key phrases here. There's a fire. The address where the fire is in the building. Whether people have evacuated. Scenario 4. You need help for yourself. Dispatcher. Emergency services. What is your emergency? You. I am having really bad chest pains. I am alone at home and I am scared. My address is 22 Pine Street, apartment 4B. Dispatcher. How old are you? You. I am 45. Dispatcher. When did the pain start? You. About 20 minutes ago. It feels like something heavy is sitting on my chest. Dispatcher. Are you having trouble breathing? You. A little bit. It is hard to take deep breaths. Dispatcher. Okay. An ambulance is on the way. I need you to unlock your front door if you can, so the paramedics can get in. Then sit down or lie down and try to stay calm. Do not eat or drink anything. Stay on the line with me. You. Okay? Thank you. This scenario shows that you can call for yourself too. You do not have to be calling for someone else. If you feel that something is seriously wrong, call immediately. It is always better to call and not need help than to not call and regret it. Part 12. Useful phrases for giving and receiving instructions. During an emergency, you might need to give instructions to other people, or you might receive instructions from a dispatcher or a medical professional. Let us practice both. Giving instructions to someone nearby. Call an ambulance right now. Direct and urgent. Do not move him. If someone is injured, moving them can make it worse. Put pressure on the wound. This helps stop bleeding. You press a clean cloth against the wound. Keep her warm. Cover the person with a blanket or jacket to prevent shock. Move away from the building. If there is a fire or a structural danger, people need to move to a safe distance. Does anyone here know first aid? If you are in a crowd, there might be someone with training. Please stand back and give them space. If a crowd is gathering around an injured person, they need air and room. Receiving instructions from a dispatcher, the dispatcher might say, I need you to check if they are breathing. You do it and report back. They might say, tilt their head back slightly to open the airway. This is a first aid technique. They might say, start chest compressions. Push hard and fast in the center of the chest. This is CPR. They might say, stay on the line, do not hang up. This means keep the phone call going. They need to stay in contact with you. A very useful phrase when receiving instructions. Okay, I am doing it now. This tells the dispatcher that you understood and you are following their instructions. Repeat after me. Okay, I am doing it now. And if you do not understand an instruction, I am sorry. Can you repeat that? I did not understand. Never pretend to understand in an emergency. Ask them to repeat. Ask them to explain. It is much better to ask twice than to do the wrong thing. Part 13. After the emergency. The emergency is over. Help has arrived. The person has been taken to the hospital. The fire has been put out. The police have taken your statement. What happens now? First, take care of yourself. Even if you were not physically hurt, witnessing an emergency can be very stressful. You might feel shaky, emotional, or exhausted. This is called an adrenaline crash. It is your body coming down from the high alert state. It is completely normal. Give yourself time. Drink some water, sit down. Talk to someone about what happened. If the feelings last a long time, or if you have trouble sleeping, have nightmares, or feel very anxious in the days after, consider talking to a professional. This is also normal and it is not a sign of weakness. Emergency situations can affect anyone emotionally. Second, if the police or emergency services need a statement from you, they will ask for one. A statement is your account of what happened. They might ask, Can you tell me exactly what you saw? Just describe what happened in the order it happened. Be honest. Be specific. If you do not remember something, say, I am not sure about that part. Third, if you helped someone, be proud of yourself. Many people freeze in emergencies. Many people look away or walk past. But you stopped. You called for help. You did something. That matters more than you know. Here is a useful phrase. I would like to give a statement about what I saw. This tells the police that you are willing to share information. Repeat after me. I would like to give a statement. And another one. Is the person going to be okay? If you helped someone and you want to know how they are doing, you can ask this at the hospital or to the paramedics. Is the person going to be okay? Part 14. Preventing emergencies. The best emergency is one that never happens. Let me share some practical tips for preventing common emergencies and being prepared. At home, make sure you have a working smoke detector. A smoke detector is a small device on the ceiling that makes a loud noise when it detects smoke. Check it regularly to make sure the battery works. Know where the fire exits are. In your apartment building, in your office, in your hotel. When you check into a hotel, look at the map on the back of the door. It shows you where the emergency exits are. Keep a basic first aid kit at home. A first aid kit contains things like bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain medication, medical tape, and gloves. You can buy one at a pharmacy or online. It does not have to be expensive, but having one means you can treat small injuries immediately. Learn basic first aid and CPR. Many organizations offer free or affordable courses. Knowing how to stop bleeding, how to put someone in the recovery position, and how to perform CPR could save someone's life one day. If you are traveling abroad, write down the local emergency number and the address of the nearest hospital. Keep this information on your phone and also on a piece of paper in case your phone runs out of battery. Here is a phrase. It is better to be safe than sorry. This is a very common English expression. It means it is better to be prepared, even if you never need it, than to not be prepared when something goes wrong. Repeat after me. It is better to be safe than sorry. Part 15. Emergency Vocabulary Review. Before we finish, let me review the most important words and phrases from today's episode. There are a lot of them because this topic is so important. Emergency services, the police, fire department, and ambulance service. Call emergency services immediately. Dispatcher, the person who answers your emergency call. The dispatcher asked for my location. Ambulance, the vehicle that takes sick or injured people to the hospital. The ambulance arrived in 8 minutes. Paramedic, a medical professional who provides emergency treatment. The paramedic treated her injuries. Unconscious, not awake, not responding. He is unconscious and not breathing. Conscious, awake and aware. She is conscious but confused. Collapsed. Suddenly fell to the ground. A man collapsed on the sidewalk. Trapped, unable to get out or move. Someone is trapped inside the car. Bleeding, losing blood from a wound. She is bleeding heavily from her arm. Fracture, a broken bone. The X-ray showed a fracture in his leg. Evacuate, to leave a building for safety. We evacuated the building immediately. First aid, basic medical help given before professional help arrives. Does anyone know first aid? CPR, a life-saving technique involving chest compressions. The dispatcher told me how to perform CPR recovery position, a safe position for an unconscious person who is breathing. Put him in the recovery position. Stable condition. The person's health is not getting worse. She is in stable condition at the hospital. I want to report used to tell the police about a crime or incident. I want to report a break-in. Bear with me. Please be patient with me. I am scared. Please bear with me. Stay on the line. Do not hang up the phone. The dispatcher said to stay on the line. It is better to be safe than sorry. It is better to be prepared. It is better to be safe than sorry. These are phrases that I hope you never have to use. But if you do, I want you to be ready. Part 16. A final practice. Exercise. Let me give you one more practice exercise before we finish. I want you to pause the podcast and try this. Imagine this situation. You are in a park. You see an older man sitting on a bench. Suddenly he grabs his chest. His face goes pale, and he falls off the bench onto the ground. Nobody else is nearby. What do? What do you say when you call the emergency number? Pause the podcast now and say your emergency call out loud. Include what service you need, your location, what happened, and the condition of the person. Here is an example of what you could say. I need an ambulance. I am in Central Park, near the main fountain on the north side. An elderly man has collapsed. He was holding his chest before he fell. He is lying on the ground. He looks unconscious. I am going to check if he is breathing. Did you do it? Even if your version was different, even if you forgot some details, the fact that you tried means you are more prepared than you were before this episode. And that is what matters. And that is the end of episode 12. This was a long one, I know. But emergencies do not give you time to look up vocabulary. They do not give you time to practice phrases. The only time to prepare is right now. And that is exactly what you just did. Today we learned how to call emergency services, how to describe medical emergencies, accidents and fires, how to talk to the police, how to ask for help on the street, how to communicate at the hospital, and how to stay calm when everything feels chaotic. We practiced real scenarios and real conversations. And we reviewed essential vocabulary that could one day make a real difference. I hope you never have to use any of these phrases in a real emergency. But if you do, I hope you feel a little more prepared, a little more confident, and a little more capable of handling it. Here is my challenge for you. Teach someone else. Take 3 phrases from today and teach them to a friend, a family member, or a colleague who is also learning English. When you teach something, you remember it better, and you might be helping someone else be prepared for an emergency too. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Easy English Daily and share it with someone who might need it. This episode especially is one worth sharing. You never know whose life it could help protect. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourself and the people around you. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, knowing what to say in an emergency is not just about language. It is about courage. This is Emily, and you have been listening to Easy English Daily. Bye for now.